Tonight, the official start to the snowmobile season is here. Why some in the region believe this may be the best season in years. Plus, driving a wedge between us. A countrywide truck convoy heading to Ottawa to protest safety measures highlights the growing divide between vaccinated and unvaccinated Canadians.
You're watching CKWS Kingston. This is CKWS News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Mark Carcasole. Now for some, last week's snowstorm was a very unwelcome sight. But for others, like snowmobilers, well, they couldn't have been happier. As Darren Davis tells us in tonight's top story, last week's snowfall marked the start of snowmobile season for many in the region.
350 kilometers of trails in the region is currently in the process of being groomed by the Lennox and Addington Ridge Runners Snowmobile Club. President Keith Dawson says this year could be one of the better seasons in recent memory.
Last year was really skinny. This year we're starting out with a lot more snow than we had to work with in probably the last 5 years to start with. We can use more snow, of course. However, cold weather and the base that we have is looking real good.
Miles and smiles, that's what it's all about.
This snowmobiler says the trail system has something for everyone.
You can go straight and fast if you want, or you can duck into the woods and do some more technical riding.
This father and son duo likely won't be going too fast. That's because they are riding ski zooms, which were purchased in the early 1970s. You could say they are the classic car of the snowmobile world.
Yeah, it's hard to get very far. People usually stop us and they got to check them out. So we've already been signed up from our ride yesterday to go to the antique meet in Napanee this year, so we'll probably dig those out for that in the summer.
Dawson says the success of the club and the trail system is dependent on a series of partnerships, including dues-paying members, volunteers, and private landowners that allow for the trails to be built on their property.
What we have permission for is that prescribed trail, and what we want to do is make sure that people are aware they need to stay on the trail, or we lose trail network.
Dawson also stresses the importance of safety, particularly on ice when crossing waterways. He says key information can be found online by checking the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs interactive trail guide.
Green means full availability, yellow is limited, and red is trail closed.
Darren Davis, Global News, Yarker.
All right, the weekend is almost over at this point, so let's see how things are shaping up for your Monday. Here is weather specialist Carla Bosacki with your first look at the forecast.
Thanks, Mark. Hopefully you had a great day. I have to tell you, there's nothing better on a Sunday morning than to get dressed up, go outside, enjoy the sunshine, and go for a run in the woods. That's what I did with my four-legged buddy Max. It was a great way to start off the day, so I'm feeling pretty energized right now. It's great. Hopefully you enjoyed your day as well. Highs today, -6 in Kingston, Brockville -5, Cobourg -4, up through Bancroft and Tweed -8, but this is what it feels like out there, -20 through Peterborough and up through Bancroft and Tweed, Cottage Country. The winds in Kingston are coming in from the west, and they're relatively calm. I know it was cloudy this morning, and we saw some snow. Actually, it started last night, but boy, did it ever clear up nicely, didn't it? We are going to remain clear overnight tonight. The opposite is going to happen tomorrow. So we'll start off clear. That Alberta Clipper is moving in. We'll see increasing cloud cover, and then we'll see some snow moving in late on Monday. And we could see, our models are suggesting 6 centimeters, although really it looks like anywhere from, say, 2 to 5 is what we're really looking at. Not a lot of snow, but it will be a slow, lingering, continuous day, afternoon of snow. And it will probably affect your drive home tomorrow night, so just keep that in mind. Starting off Monday morning at -22, and we should make it up to about -7 by the afternoon. Your 7-day forecast is ahead.
All right, thanks a lot, Carla. To the battle against COVID-19 participated in a short convoy this morning. It's believed to be just the start of a national protest against vaccine mandates imposed on the industry by the federal government. But as Brittany Rosen tells us, it is raising questions about the feasibility of restrictive public health policy decisions.
Beginning in Fort Erie, Ontario, a number of trucks slow-rolled their way to the Niagara region Sunday morning.
This is not just for the truckers. This is the backbone. They are the backbone of Canada. and the Canadian and American good. Freedom! Freedom!
Protests like these come as convoys across the country are heading to Ottawa to oppose a vaccine mandate, which requires truckers traveling back and forth across the U.S. border to be immunized against COVID-19. Sylvain Charlebois says the mandate is coming at the wrong time. He fears it will drive up the price of consumer goods.
I think we're at a point now in the pandemic that we need to strike a more functional balance between saving lives and keeping Canadians fed.
The latest pushback on vaccine mandates from truck drivers draws a parallel with Canada's ongoing divide over public health restrictions. It prompts the question as to whether policy is matching the science.
Rather than chasing down the unvaccinated, we should be pushing our governments to deal with the global health risk that's in front of all of us.
Bioethicist Carrie Bowman believes the government should focus on vaccinating the rest of the world instead of the holdouts in Canada. Others, such as Dr. Isaac Bogoch, say policymakers shouldn't keep measures in place longer than necessary.
Whenever a policy is being implemented, I think we have to ask ourselves, what's the goal here? Like, what are you actually trying to do?
Both agree there should be flexibility in how pandemic policy is shaped in the future.
That's probably one of the most important aspects to question when you're making policy. And sadly, I think sometimes that gets lost.
Brittany Rosen, Global News, Toronto.
The rush to